We're transforming some thrifted items into some fun spring decor. Welcome to Up All Night DIY. I'm Marika. Thanks for joining me. It's the LAST THING THRIFTED Collaboration, the first of 2025, and I'm lucky enough to be hosting this collaboration along with all of these lovely ladies. Jodi of Jodi at Southern Seasons, Dawn of Shabby Meets Bling, Annie of Crafting with Indie Annie Jones, Shelly of Repurpose My Way, Marika of Marika Creations, and Zana of OK at Home DIY. We're joined by lots of our talented friends. You'll find links to all of the host channels as well as the playlist in the description box below. Right, we have a lot to do, so let's get into it. We're starting out with this vase. I'm not really sure where I picked this up. I've had it for some time now, but I noticed that there are a few cracks in it, so I did some repairing on the inside, and it's all good to go now. We're also going to be using this Charles Chips, or as we called it, Charlie Chips can lid. Growing up, my mom always had Charlie Chips delivered to the house every Friday. First, I'm going to wipe both pieces down with some of this rubbing alcohol. I've already washed them with soap and water, but the rubbing alcohol will help us get any additional grime, fingerprints, or oil off of the surfaces. So, just a quick wipe should do it. Now that they're clean, I'll be giving these just a real quick misting of this primer spray paint. This will help the chalk paint that I'm going to use stick to the surfaces. So you can see it's just a very light mist. Again, it's just to allow the paint to stick better. So I didn't go full coverage or anything. You can kind of see where some of the cracks are, but I'm sure once we get this painted, you'll never notice. Going to start off with the vase here. I'm going to give both the vase and the lid 2 coats of black chalk paint. This is actually a Behr chalk paint from Home Depot. I'll let the first coat dry completely before I add an additional coat. I'm going to do all of my strokes, well, pretty much all of my strokes, in a vertical direction for the first coat. And then for my next coat, I'm going to go in a horizontal direction. I feel like it'll add some texture and, interest to the piece. This one is going to go really fast, you guys. These are the kind of things that I do without really thinking about filming them because they're so quick and easy. So I hope you don't mind that they're not very fancy or involved. Now I did the same on the lid here. I did all my strokes on the first coat going the one way, and then I turned it the opposite way and did the second coat. I pulled out my trusty checkerboard stencil, and I'm going to use DecoArt Chalk Paint in the color Refresh, which is a lovely vintage soft turquoise color. Unfortunately, DecoArt no longer makes chalk paint, and I know for sure that they don't make this color anymore. But if you like this color, FolkArt has something very similar called Patina in their chalk paint. It really is a shame though that DecoArt stopped making their chalk paint. Anyway, I'm using a sponge dauber to pencil my checkerboard. I'm going to leave it very loose in areas because I like the way that looks. And I think it makes it look more worn. I grab a smaller flat brush here to dry brush some of this Refresh color onto both the vase and around the edge of the lid. There are some ridges on this vase. I'm going to hit those first. They're, high spots, which lends itself to the dry brushing technique. You know what I'm saying? It's real easy to hit those spots. You can see here that Refresh color is going on really nicely on these raised areas. Once I've hit all those raised areas, I'm going to come in and do some cross-hatching strokes anywhere where I think it would look good on this vase. I like the idea that this has almost like a chalkboard look to it, which is kind of what I'm going for today, both in this project and in the final project. I really like that chalkboard look, has a cafe vibe. Yeah, I'm going to hit around this edge here and just do a little bit of cross-hatching here too, I think. Once I'm satisfied with the dry brushing, I'm going to give both pieces a coat of clear matte sealer spray, and that's pretty much it. All I'm going to do is set the lid on top of the vase and use this as a riser/cake stand for decorative purposes only. I won't be affixing the lid to the vase because at some point I might want to use this as a vase, and I might want to use the lid for something else too. Also, it'll definitely be a lot easier to store these pieces separately than if they were, glued together. You feel me? So I'm just going to set the lid right on top, center it, and there we go. We have ourselves a lovely little riser/cake stand. I really love it. I love this color combination. Let me know what you think. Right, so for DIY too, once again, I'm not sure where I got this candlestick holder. I actually have two of these. I love it just the way it is with its rusty finish, so we're not going to change that in any way. However, I also found in amongst my hardware stash this brass finial, which gave me an idea. I saw a piece ages ago that I thought was really cool, so I'm going to replicate it. To do that, we're going to need a wood block, so I happen to have one. And I bored out a notch on the bottom so that it will sit atop of the candlestick. I don't have to affix it. This will sit perfectly right on top of that candlestick. I'm going to use FolkArt Nutmeg Antiquing Medium to stain the block because I feel like it's a pretty close match with the rust on the candlestick. Now, as I was doing this, two of the sides took the stain really dark, so I'm going to give the block 2 coats, and I'm going to let the second coat sit a wee bit before I wipe it back. While the stain dries, I want to add some patina to the brass piece, so I gave it a coat of Mod Podge, and I'm going to dry brush it with Ceramcoat charcoal to tone down some of that brassiness. This was a really quick fix to get rid of any of that shine left on the brass. I printed out some clock faces that I liked onto some regular old printer paper. I've cut them out, and I'm going to Mod Podge them onto 4 sides of the block. This will give the effect of one of those street clocks, you know, the kind you would see in your town center or on Main Street. I'll apply a coat of Mod Podge to the wood and then add the paper to the Mod Podge, and then we'll give it a top coat as well. Super quick and easy, right? Once again, I'm going to use my charcoal paint to dry brush. This time I'm going to dry brush the block to grunge it up, make it look more vintage, and tie it in with that brass finial. Once that's done, I'll give the block a coat of clear matte sealer spray. I go heavy with the dry brushing here on the top, and I also dry brush the little piece of wood that the finial is attached to. I add some glue to the wood on the finial, and then we attach the finial to the top of the wood block. To finish this off, I'm going to tie some of these grungy fabric strips around the candlestick. I'll make a wee bow, add a gem to the center. The only thing I'll have to do is add the block to the top, and this project is done. I think this is really cute. If I had a second brass finial, I would have made 2. So maybe in the future, if I can find one that's similar. And I like the fact that I can remove the block and use the candlestick for its intended purpose if I wish to. This past weekend, my husband and I hit the Goodwill, and I picked up a few things. I got this wood crate. I think it was $4.99. I didn't see anything less than $4.99. Anyway, I thought it was a relatively decent price because this is in pretty good shape, almost new. And I know I've mentioned that the thrift stores and Goodwills around here, the prices aren't super cheap. So if I see something for $5, depending on the shape it's in, I'm going to grab it. This is the other piece that I was saying I'm going to give a chalkboard finish. I did clean this off when I brought it in, but I'm going to wipe it down again with a damp rag. I also want to add a little bit of texture to this piece, so I've created some vinyl stencils, which I'm just going to burnish on here. I want my lettering to be right up against the edge, and I'm going to use some of this Jo Sonja texture paste to add raised lettering. I'll apply the paste with my palette knife. I'm just going over with like a skim coat, basically, so very lightly. So this is going to say $2 fresh herbs local, and on the sides it's going to say, I think fresh herbs by the bunch or something like that. Well, you'll see. So I'm just smoothing this over my vinyl. So like I said, a very thin coat, and I don't mind if it's not perfectly smooth. I like the idea of there being, you know, some bumps or some texture to it. Once I get the texture paste on, I'm going to hit this with my heat gun, and then I'll peel up the vinyl, exposing the raised letters. If you've never used texture paste, I highly recommend it. But you can use caulking or spackling. It'll pretty much give you the same effect. I do love this Jo Sonja texture paste though. It's kind of flexible, dries really quick, and it doesn't crack, so you can't beat that. Okay, here we go. We're going to peel up the vinyl. Yeah, not sure you can really see that, but you'll get to see it once it's painted. I'm going to give the entire project 2 coats of FolkArt wrought iron, which is very similar to Ceramcoat charcoal, but I'm running out of charcoal. So, wrought iron it is. Next, I'm going to dry brush with some Ceramcoat Hippo Gray. This will give it that freshly erased chalkboard appearance. Well, at least we're building toward that. It'll definitely enhance the letters so that you can see them better. It'll be subtle, but that's exactly what I'm going for. And as I mentioned, most of the time when I do stuff like this, I wouldn't even think to film it because it's so simple and subtle. So you let me know what you think if you're interested in more videos like this. I'd appreciate it. After I finish with Hippo Gray, I'm going to come back in with my dirty brush and dry brush a coat of Americana bleach sand. This is a vintage off-white color, again adding to that freshly erased chalkboard look. I'm focusing a good bit of the dry brushing on the edges of the box and the handle to accentuate them, but I'm also going to do some cross-hatch across the lettering. See here, it's very subtle, but I just love that. I love that faded look. Once I'm happy with all my dry brushing, I'll spray a coat of clear matte sealer onto the box to finish it off. I love the simplicity of this. I love that chalkboard look, and I will be using this eventually to hold my paints, I'm almost certain. But right now, I have it decorated for spring. Let's take a final look at today's projects. Here's the 2-piece cake stand made from a vase and a chip can lid. Love the way this turned out. And I will be using this throughout the year for my decor. I think this little clock is absolutely darling, and I'm hoping to find another finial so I can make a second one to match. I really like the fact that this is a changeable piece, and I can remove the block and use the candlesticks as candlesticks. And finally, here is our chalkboard planner box / toolbox. Very simple projects today. I love each one of them, and they will go perfectly with my everyday decor. Let me know what you guys think and which one is your favorite. I want to thank Jodi, Dawn, Annie, Shelly, Marika, and Zana, as well as all the other fab creators who joined us today. You'll find links to the host channels, as well as the playlist in the description box. You're definitely going to want to check out everybody's projects. There will be a ton of inspiration. All of these ladies are multi-talented. Show them some love. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe, and all that good stuff. Stay creative, my friends. Thanks for hanging with me. See you next time. Up all night with Monica.